Hello, this is a competitive analysis between the two 2D platformer games Hollow Knight and Ori and the Blind Forest. The goal of this video will be to deconstruct their healing and saving mechanic. Each one of these games have their differences, such as different abilities that allows them to progress through the game, but these games also have a lot of similarities, including their saving and healing mechanics. In Ori, there are multiple sources that a player can obtain health from, such as killing enemies or just jumping on top of these green health plants shown here. If the player has enough energy, they will be able to create a soul link, which will save the game at the current position wherever the player is located. And if the player has certain abilities unlocked, it will grant them some health, much like Hollow Knight. These abilities include, let's go into the ability tree here, Regroup and Ultra Soul Link, which will grant the player extra life cells whenever they summon a Soul Link, which I will demonstrate here. See, I was granted some health orbs. As for Hollow Knight, the player can only heal themselves with a feature that is much like Ori's Soul Link. The player must be standing in place, and they must have energy in order to perform this ability, which is shown in the top left. Energy is granted by killing enemies. See, as you can see, now I have energy, and if I stand in place, I can then channel my healing ability, as you saw by a visual cue. I will now demonstrate how each activation uses up 1/3 of the energy and heals the player by 1 hit point. Aside from healing in unsafe zones, both of these platformers have a main saving feature that fully heals the player when they're in a safe area. In Hollow Knight, the player can come across a bench, and if they sit down, it saves their game and gives them full health. But notice that it does not grant them any energy when they rest on a bench. In Ori and the Blind Forest, a player can find an altar, which you see when they activate the save on it, it grants them full health and full energy. In Ori, the main save feature also differs from Hollow Knight because the player can warp to other save points once activated. Despite having slight differences among the healing/saving feature in these two games, I would have to say they are pretty similar overall, and they can give the player a sense of security